Hello everyone and welcome to Gierok Farms. This morning we are starting off here in the farmyard and we are going to haul some manure out. This week Dad and Owen have been hard at work trying to bale some dry hay. It's been pretty difficult this year with all the rain we've been getting. There's not very good hay drying weather. But that being said, they got a couple acres done this week. So we got some room to haul some manure out, fertilize some of those fields before the hay starts growing back. And being hay's been pushed so late this year, we got plenty of manure to haul out. So probably another load or two this morning yet to haul out. Might mow some pastures today with Dad. We'll see where the day takes us. We do have some hay cut, but it might not dry today, so we'll see what happens there. But starting off this morning, we got some manure to haul out, and we got to get this barnyard cleaned up. So hope you all enjoy the video. Let's get to work. You can just smell the dollar signs, especially last year and the year before with those high fertilizer prices. Having manure was very beneficial. We're very happy that we have livestock when it comes to improving our farm's fertility and our soil health and organic matter. It's very hard to beat manure. We got at least enough for half a load yet there. And I'll check these outbuildings here. Maybe we'll do some cleaning there, being we got places to go. This looks pretty clean. Looking around, the buildings are pretty clean. I think when he's gone though with the spreader, I'm gonna hook up this scraping bucket with the rubber. I think on Father's Day we adjusted the rubber on this and made it so it scrapes a little better. We flipped around this piece and then lowered the bottom pieces so we're making some better contact with the concrete. So I'll put that tool to work, scrape up the yard while he's gone with the manure spreader. Okay, we have all the manure spread and cleaned up. Now we're gonna move on to hooking up the 7405 to that nice big new brush hog, that batwing mower, that nice big John Deere one. Dad's got some pasture he wants to mow this afternoon. Take advantage of it while that hay's drying. He's really starting to love this thing. The more and more he uses it, the more he talks about it. So. Before Dad takes off here, I was mentioning to these guys how much you've been learning to love this thing. It seems like every time you take it out, you're talking about it again with me, how much you like it, how it shapes to the terrain, and gets around pretty good for how big it is.
I never used one like this before. We just had that 3-point, but 8-foot, and that's my second one. The first one, it just got wore out. We traded it. We got a good trade on it, and then we got that one again. And I was going to actually trade that one again for this, and you know how it is, they don't always want to give you what they should, and there's really nothing wrong with it. So I thought, no, we're keeping it, because there's places where we can't get in with this, where I got to back up in places.
Yeah,
some
especially
of the
like in the woods
along the fences. Yeah, a little more control, but the only thing is it doesn't shape quite to the land right. You know, where it's so steep, there's places where it's safer to back up the hill and go straight down the hill than try to go along the hill. Maybe we'd get a few of those shrubs, you know, that grow in the pasture that I don't even know what they call that bush. It almost looks like an apple tree, but it's not.
Yeah. And
then you can kind of strategically take care of a few of those. But yeah, this thing it makes it look almost like a golf course. Plan is if we'd had respectable hay weather, we'd have been done with our hay. Now we're in late June, and we're still talking about finishing first crop dry hay yet. So then I would cut some of the pastures before the Canadian heads out. Some just a few spots where the cows didn't quite, you know, where they lay on top of the knobs, or there's some places in them valleys, and then just set the shoes really high on the disc line, and we'd make that, and then that would make beautiful feed too for my heifers in that. But this year, the way it's getting, it's almost to the point where it's time to start forgetting about that, because it's gonna be second crop before.
Yeah, it's getting pretty late. So. And if there's time to mess around, heck, you might be able to mow your pastures later in the year.
And see, it's even in theory, like up here, that first crop, I mean, it almost looks like a wheat field already, which it's the orchard grass, and there's some value in that. It might end up even making bedding but we're planning on just piling that in one of these back sheds. I mean, we get a drought, that's gonna be feed mixed with corn silage. It's gonna be great. In theory, if you only knew the hindsight, even though it was too wet to make it, and it's slick up there and it's steep, that's why I just kind of avoided it, hoping things would dry off more. But we could have just bush hogged it down. We'd have had a second crop back
already. Yeah.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
But that would have had to have been done in like maybe around the 10th of June, and again, but 3-inch rainfalls. Oh. It's kind of like you just say, we're just gonna wait. So like my brother was talking with me about it too, because he farms similar, and we're like, sometimes you gotta look at it, ain't worth wrecking the machine over. You know, and then of course there's all sorts of other stuff too, but you know what the equipment costs, you could buy a lot of hay if you had to, which we're not.
And don't pay to go make a mess. So yeah, that's the plan. Dad's gonna go use his new favorite tool and mow some pastures now.
More machines need to try to make this. They got so for depth they got these. Yeah. And the extra ones are here. You know, just have to be nearby. But this device, so if you put that down, that's your stop to keep it from going all the way down.
Yeah, planter's kind of got something like that. I think John Deere likes keeping their hydraulics simple like that.
Yep, and I like that. So anytime I think they can do that. And then we got here, these hold up the wings when you're, when you're in the storage position or going down the road. But they got a place right next to it for, so if you kind of watch when I'm mowing, if I get to a spot where there might be a rock or maybe a tree branch or high spot or something, or you can actually raise it up, you know, a reasonable amount before the wings start coming up. You got a little bit of control. Your wheels will control some of it. I tried to even get more wheels involved, but they don't come that way, because the more wheels you got touching the surface, I think the better control you got keeping everything even.
So I was telling you guys, this is his favorite machine. He likes this thing. So he's gonna go mow now for a while. I'll probably get the drone up and we'll get some footage of this thing in action. have moved on to the back pasture. He made a round around the outer fences, or at least the ones that aren't in the woods. Just kind of keep the weeds away from the fence, and it's a lot easier to check fence that way too, if you get all the weeds and the tall grass down. Now he's working on a patch here in the back along this border fence here, cleaning all this up. And he isn't kidding how nice of a job that mower does compared to that fixed 8-foot one. He can really shape to the contour of the ground, and it doesn't leave a rigid cut. It flows with the ground a lot nicer. For how fast we're going and how uneven the terrain is and the type of environment it is, I'd say that's a really nice cut. That is a beautiful cut. Leave some comments down below, those of you with pasture that know somebody with pasture, what your management looks like for that pasture ground. I know some guys kind of leave it and forget it. Other guys are mowing like this, or aerating and interseeding and fertilizing. Let me know down in the comments what your pasture management looks like. I'd be interested to hear about it. I know some guys go full bore when it comes to improving their pastures. Being out here in the sun reminds me that if you guys haven't checked us out at GierokFarms.com, go check us out. We got some hats on there. I'm sure happy that I have this nice Gierok Farm hat being out in the sun today. We don't have a whole lot left, so go get them while you can. And thank you to every one of you who have got yourself a Gierok Farms hat.